Greetings, my name is Johnny Recher, and you're listening to Demon Dayz, an actual play podcast with a focus on fiends and the friends who play them. I'd like to start our show by thanking our regular sponsor, ArcKnight, whose maps, props, and minis bring our game to life. I want to draw your attention to KiloWhat and her awesome show art. Seriously, go check it out. Listen, in anticipation for meeting all of you at various cons this year, we brought a ton of Demon Dayz logo stickers to hand out. Turns out 2020 had other plans. They're burning a hole in our pockets, and we hear that the post office could use the help. So here's the deal. Write us a review on your favorite podcast service, take a screen grab, and send that and an address to thesedemondayz@gmail.com. That's with a Z, just like our Twitter handle. We know that some of you folks are a few episodes behind, so our plan is to keep this promotion going until all the stickers we currently have in stock are gone. Thank you so much for joining us on this adventure. Stay safe out there. We love you, and now, on to today's episode.
Friends, fiends! The cultist camp along the shores of the Usurper's Fall has been cleared, and our horny heroes have just removed some evil metallic slabs from play. Granted, they had to make a bargain with an ancient deity, but hey, the ends justify the means, right? Right? Anyway, I got a big story for you today, and big stories call for some big ale. So clean out one of those bathtubs and fill it full of ale, and we'll dive right into these Demon Dayz.
The new day begins.
Around what time are we all up, John? If we went to bed at 3, 4 in the morning.
I would say maybe around 10-ish.
Okay.
So their conversation was happening right around the rise of the sun, and then there was still a few hours of watch after that, where she's still out. You're starting to feel the sun beat down onto the tents or wherever you guys had yourself set up.
I mean, I'm gonna be up from when they woke me up, so I'll do what I can to get breakfast ready and try and stay quiet for the rest of the time that we're there, and just do another perception check. It's a 6 that time. We're going up.
Oh, doubled. You doubled your number.
I know.
Woo!
Yeah, woo.
100% improvement. That's how I roll.
Not much in terms of anything else changes with what you see or what you notice. You guys are pretty left alone right here at this particular spot that you cleared out. They clearly didn't leave enough people behind in this particular area. And yeah, Sonny wakes up too, and everyone is up and at him.
Fantastic. I'm going to get up, walk out of the tent naked, start coffee. Once the percolator's going, I'll walk back into the tent and get dressed.
All right.
The smell helps, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nothing like open air, right?
A little prestidigitation, like crack pits and tits, just kind of get it all cleaned out.
Crack pits.
Right.
All right.
Christ.
Fresh as a daisy. And as I'll pour 2 cups, I'll bring one in for Taz and just set it by her. And I'm gonna check the pocket watch and see how it's doing. I'm very curious, both to see if the directions are fine and if it's starting to list the way it did around the Edgewater Tower.
From where you guys are standing in terms of distance to the mountain still yet, you don't notice any serious listing or turning, maybe a little bit, like if you're looking facing north, it's north, but slightly off by just almost an imperceptible hair.
Okay.
So if anything, you could easily misinterpret that as I'm just holding this thing wrong. Or,
right.
That it's still too early to tell.
Right.
But your mind immediately goes to there that, okay, we're starting to get near to just stuff happening.
So when we're all assembled, I want to give everybody a chance to do something
I'm still in the books, especially after last night.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decipher this thing.
And Tazlin, while you're trying to decipher that, you do notice the particular spells you were talking about, not the separate one that you were looking for.
Yeah.
Not that distant one. The other ones, though, the ones that were more automatic.
Yeah.
Are there. And as you finally, with new eyes, you got surprisingly a good amount of rest for all the stuff that was on your mind, all that shit. So you're able to see it and grok those particular, the ability to use those spells. So yeah, you have now access to those.
I hold the book up a little bit like Simba, and I'm like, yes! It's about freaking time!
You hear in the distant echo like, sorry for the delay. Ka!
All right, well, she's up. All right, well, I'm just going to talk. It's a tent, right? So I can just talk. I'm just going to talk loud enough so everyone can hear us. All right, so, band meeting. Which way do we head, folks? Still straight up the middle? Do we double back? Maybe towards the eastern entrance? Keep going to the west? I don't know. Where's your thingy, Yusuf? Do you know? I mean, under, obviously, but do we know?
I think we'll know it when we find it.
I like poke my head out of the tent, and I'm kind of like, does anybody know this thing called the Whispered One? Does that ring a bell to anybody at all?
Is that, I'll roll a history check.
Sure.
Sadly, that's a 6, so this time I do not know.
John, I got a 21 for history.
Okay.
About the Whispered One or the Fortress of Sorrows or...
There is, in the books you've read in your journeys in various libraries, there was, a long time ago, as it were, a being who decided that he could ascend, or should ascend, to godhood, and he was almost successful. Everything kind of lined up well, and he went unchallenged. And he did have a partner in crime, someone who had been willing to help him out, a particular, they just say a champion of this Whispered One, and they betrayed him. Cut off his hand and cut out his eye and took it for themselves. God. So that Whispered One, there is a sense of a very chaotic demi-being who was destroyed and taken out. And the way they describe this champion, they use the word champion. And in the language in all the books, the text always phrases it that way, the champion. And you've heard that before in various beings who have talked to you and given you things. They've referred to champions. So there is some connection there. You're slowly drawing lines to it, but that's about what you got from your history. But they don't outright name this being other than the Whispered One. There is a sense of, we don't speak his name.
Okay. I walk out of the tent, also naked, because I apparently was too enwrapped in this to remember to put my clothes on. And I tell them about the vision that I had in the night, and it's like, she said this thing to me. I don't know if it makes sense to all of you, or if, I don't know, Yusuf, your god was helpful in a way, but something about, you will find me where I slew the Whispered One atop the hand of a Titan, and a foul tressum can guide you to my Fortress of Sorrows where clarity awaits.
Hand of a Titan, huh?
Yep. Hand of a Titan.
Oh boy, like our friend? That's great. What foul tressum. Ooh, very, very exciting. I'm going to try to mouth at Tasland. Your tattoos are showing.
Oh, I kind of like see that, and I just back into the tent. And I just have my head kind of poking out.
Perception check of a 10.
On her tattoos?
Yeah. Because I don't think it... Well, no, I've seen them before.
No.
No, but you haven't.
Not in the bathhouse?
Only Feder and Lisa did, because I was still wearing a robe in the bathhouse.
Yeah.
I would say contest that. Once she notices, and you kind of catch on, there's like a split moment where you're both like, oh, there's something I'm looking at. I'm looking at these tattoos. Taz, and you're like trying to get out of there. So you roll, I guess, stealth to get back out, and then you're going against Drew's perception.
Well, I got a 14 on a die, so that's 16.
Beat me.
All right,
it was a 10 total.
You move fast. You move fast.
I'm looking around, kind of like, what's a tressum? As she runs back into the tent, not really seeing anything.
Yeah. And Taslan, as you run back, or you scoot back into the tent, you do hear from Sunny, who's been sitting there watching both of you just exist out there naked. Yeah, it's pretty fine.
I give her a wink.
I got a tattoo too. It's of an eye. And she kind of flexes the shoulder muscles as you're peeking out, just like, and you can see the eye move a little bit with the scar.
Does the eye remind me of like the knowledge that I knew of the person having his eye cut out, or no?
No, it's unrelated.
Okay. Okay.
But you immediately kind of think that at first, but then something about the way the eye is just tattooed on the muscle, it seems more of an orcish thing. That's kind of where your mind goes first.
So it sounds like we're dealing with not one, or two, but three different usurpers at Usurper's Fall here?
It seems to be the case. Apparently, anyone who tries to get a foothold here, it doesn't really seem to work.
Right. You should tell your boss that, by the way. Compass is starting to go all wibbly, so we must be close to something. So, which way should we go? What do we think? Straight up the middle? Onward? Ever onward?
Is there any sign, John, of a path leading towards the mountain from where we are, since they showed up with carts and shit?
Would my survival help here?
Yes, it would help. So, roll.
22.
Yeah, you catch something. It's a little bit off. Since it's daylight, you can kind of, it's further south from the camp, but you do see more dragging in the dirt. It's faint, but hints of things were traveling, moving southward. So it sounds like you guys are at the north end of just a straight line down. For some of that search, though, you'll have to get out of the tent and kind of look around.
I hold up a finger and I go, "Give me a second. I'll take a look around." And I like pop in and put my clothes on.
You hear from Sonny, "If you help, I'll take my tits out too."
You know, I find that depending on the circumstance, I actually sometimes fight better in the nude.
Yeah, you do.
You know.
So, kind of look around. I'm like, should we take one of these carts so that we at least pass for one of these far away?
How are we going to carry it? I mean, I'm not sure Gallahan wants to be a labor animal.
Bring out the moose. Let's go.
Shenzo certainly won't. He'll probably yell at me if I try and pull him back to pull a cart. He won't even come.
They're on wheels, right?
These particular ones have hand spokes, so it looks like whatever cultists were around, they were hand carrying that thing.
Oh, like a stretcher?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah, I'm not doing that much manual labor, man. Sorry.
No, I know.
You get the sense here that cultists are kind of a dime a dozen, based off of like a lot of the things have just, their cultists are going to do it. They're going to carry it. They're going to traverse it.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess.
I mean, I can go all culty for about an hour if we get close to something. You lot got anything fun like that?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I tend to blend in very well, ironically, but that's about the most I don't have any magical.
Okay, well, that's at least one of us then. You all could be my subjugated prisoners, I suppose.
Oh no, put me in chains again. What?
Yeah, I know. Oh, get the rope out.
Kind of look around like, should we get going then?
Yeah, let's go. I mean, I don't feel like we have to kick our own ass or anything now that those plates are dealt with, but, you know, onward and upward.
I just start walking in the direction that we need to go.
Yep, right on our heels.
I follow along. I was told we have more time than we think we do, but tarrying is not the best plan.
Okay. What do we make of foul Tressum as we're walking?
Yeah, I have no idea what the hell a tressum is.
Can I do a roll for that, whether it's Arcana or...
Yeah, you can do an Arcana roll.
I'll do one too. Not great. I got an 8. Awesome.
Boom.
21.
There is kind of a bit of a play on words that you, using your Arcana knowledge, that is used for Tressum in general. They are kind of a feline-esque creature, very fuzzy, tend to have wings that sprout from them, and they are by nature very angry or very grumpy and very disgruntled. And if some have been gifted the ability to speak, their language is foul.
So a grumpy flying cat.
More animals?
Yep, more animals.
Great.
Smaller than Shenzo, but much grumpier, disgruntled, and can fly.
Fun.
Copy, grumpy, flying cat.
The language, John, would I know the foul language? Is that like Abyssal or Infernal or? You
would know that in research and Arcana and things like that, they just can't speak. they have no ability to speak, but they understand common. So they can understand you, they just cannot actually say anything to you or communicate. Except for in the rare cases where if there's in myth and legend, sometimes someone has gifted them the ability to talk or used a spell to be able to talk to animals. That has sometimes worked.
Okay, so they're in the cave or they're going to lead us to the cave? I'm sorry, I'm still waking up. But
It said it would guide us to a fortress of sorrows. Out of character, I do kind of wish Superman was part of this world because I keep thinking Fortress of Solitude.
That's really funny. Yeah. Wait, so Sorrows, which one of the three big meanies was Sorrow related to? The eye guy? Or not the dragons, right? She's not the mother of Sorrows. Sorry, there's so much fucking shit going on right now.
Said something about the chromatic queen and the many-headed usurper. I don't know.
Right. So she's colors and dragons and is a devil, theoretically, or at least hangs out in Avernus. We got undead eye guy. He's a demon. This is all walking, by the way.
Yeah, and I'm assuming you guys are just taking you're following the tracks. You're just heading kind of in a southerly direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
And primordial rock monster who was used by the gods to destroy everything.
And it's supposed to be like a huge rock monster, right? Like large.
Yeah, biggin. Real biggin. John, I'm gonna kind of do my usual as we're moving. I'll kind of go ahead with my roguish moving talents and kind of scope things out, at least a little bit ahead. I'm sure Adam the bird will probably, yeah.
You start to, as you guys are traveling and talking, kind of working through rock monster this or many-headed something or other. You're working through all that, and you start to see the tracks become a lot more prominent. So you're picking that up now, especially like Tazlin. Like you guys those are all kind of going off like, oh, there's actually a traveling thing. We are starting to catch up. Like there's more and more tracks, more footfalls, and you get maybe a few hours into this walk as you're traveling down, and you start to think, okay, maybe it's just we caught the camp out of the people who are staying behind. Here, you watch this area. You watch this area. You guys are probably going to eventually reach up with more who have maybe stopped at another section.
Okay.
And then this trek is going to take you for the rest of the day to get close down to the mountain enough to access it. About 11-ish or so hours. Probably closer to 12. So you start getting to nightfall again. The sun starts to go down as you go on. So there's still more room for conversation if you need to work through things.
Just the history, just so I got it straight in my head. Do we think that it's... So we think rock monster first, eye guy second, dragons third, in that order? Like...
You're talking timeline of when it happened?
Yeah.
Titan was first.
Okay. So I'm just trying to figure out who's building on who here. We know that the dragons was, at least in our history, somewhere a couple hundred years ago. And we think eye guy's somewhere in the middle? Because you both got prophecies about the Whispered One, right?
No, I did not. Whispered One wasn't in any of my stuff.
Nope, just mine.
Okay. All right, walking. God, I hate walking.
But so we think we're going to be coming up on a larger group of what we found earlier?
Yeah, you're seeing more footfalls, some carts being dragged. Some carts may have been carried by one person with the back half just being supported so they can drag it. You're seeing more of those lines as you travel throughout your day.
Okay. Any sign of that group coming up?
As you guys get to about the end of your journey, closer to Feder, you know it as about 10-ish, 11 turning thereabouts. Sun's down. You hear the commotion of people far before you get to where I have you pictured. Feder, you hear noise of people communing, talking, basic stuff that you might get at a camp. Similar to what you guys had before, but a little bit more voluminous. And as you guys reach this area here where you are, you start to see stuff unfold. You start to see more of a picture unfold.
And I'm like, as soon as I see or hear anything, hand up, and I look at Sunny, and I'm just like, shush.
She nods.
Okay. So, some sort of encampment here. I can go in, stealthy and culty, we can send the bird. I don't know. What do you want to do? I mean, I'm all for fucking busting heads, but who knows? At some point, there's a very large building full of very active cultists. So I just don't want to have us walk into something and get overwhelmed, you know? Thoughts? Anyone?
Well, I mean, if we did just walk in, that would be one way to get us to the top of the mountain.
Yeah, but at this point, I think we're trying to get to the bottom of the mountain, right? At least first. They're not going to do nothing at the top until they get those plates that we buried or something to replace them. So it seems like maybe more trouble than it's worth, or more trouble than we want to get in. But we can pass through. I can at least scope it out. I mean, I'd try the old tie Sunny up and bring her in, but they may not even know to expect a prisoner. So what do we think? I'm happy to give it a once-over and try not to draw any attention to myself.
Sorry, John, so is this like a pit that we're seeing? This goes down or goes up?
Yeah, from your vantage point, you've got in front of you a couple of outcroppings of rocks that they're enough to keep you from being seen. They're tall enough and jagged enough and that you can kind of hide behind them. But ahead of you, you can see that the ground kind of dips sharply into kind of it kind of reminds you of a larger courtyard in front of a grand regal place. And you can even off to the distance in front of you a ways see a statue and some stairs, at least towards the southern vantage.
Right. So I'm going to go cultist number 2 and at least try to get up and figure out what's on the other side of that statue. I'll keep a low profile.
I don't really like you going in on your own, but...
I mean, I can move real quick. And we haven't seen many birds around, right? So it's not like an ethereal crow's going to blend with the local flora and fauna. Am I imagining that?
No, I don't think so.
All right, well, unless we have any other bright ideas. All right, I'm going to try to... Look, I'll keep a wide berth. I'll try to see if we can just circumvent all this. Let's see. You want to pick a safe word? Safe word? Anyone?
Caw?
Caw?
Caw!
Look
Look up here.
No.
Titan?
I think we're going to try and watch as best we can, right? Are you going to circle around to get to that third one? Like,
I mean, at this point, my plan right now would be to head, if this is south, properly oriented, my plan would be to head south and try to, if this is in fact some sort of a pit, figure out either a way across it or get a sense of like the breadth of what we got in front of us. So that's what I'm aiming for.
got it.
You can see some light flickering from fires, perhaps, but
Okay.
from where you guys are, you don't have enough of a view to kind of see what's in there. But there's also to the south of you guys, where you are, you see those rocks that are curving out. Those are all pretty big that you can get through. You can, with a good stealth roll, you guys could get around those.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and cast Disguise Self. I will make myself look like the derpiest of the cultists that have been dispatched previously from the last adventure. Same robes, the whole deal. And I am going to, with great roguish agility and stealth, start moving. I guess I'll stay on the outside of the rock cropping, John.
Okay.
The idea would be to go, swing around.
And so as you, I guess for this, you've already done the switcheroo to the derpy cultist. Mm-hmm. And Sunny kind of puts her hand over her mouth, and does a good job of, hiding how that's funny as fuck.
Yeah, just shut the fuck up, Sunny. Come on.
Sorry. And then just roll a stealth as you're going. Not that there's anything to worry about. It's a low DC, considering your outside movement.
Is it low enough that if I rolled a natural 1,
Oh no.
even if I added my +6 to it to get to 7, I know that probably doesn't matter, but well, there you go, guys.
All right, let's see here.
Thank God I look like this fucking dumbass cultist.
So as you get down there, so far so good. You make it through there's not a lot in your way as you travel down, and you're getting a little bit sure of yourself with your costuming, and you start to see more. That it actually isn't a chasm or a dip. It's more of a stair down into a courtyard. A devastated courtyard, but a courtyard nonetheless. And you can see a tree that extends past where you're at your ground level, about 20 some feet, a dead tree stump that is gnarled and all that. And you can see 2 statues directly ahead of you to the east, because this is still north-south on our map, but to the east you can see two statues whose features have all been sanded away. One of the heads is missing, age decay, but they're kind of sandwiching this set of stairs going down. But as you get closer to that tree, there's a broken tree that kind of divides between the two rocks as you're heading south, and there's a bunch of branches scattered around, and you do happen to, as you break in a few of them.
Motherfuck. Goddamn.
And that noise alerts one person you see nearby. This robed figure, cultist. They've got a bow handy. They seem to be more of a lookout, and they are curious, and they're starting to kind of move around, but they're hesitant. So you have time to scoot behind some more rocks. You have some time to make one, like, kind of mad dash behind something to
hide? To
either hide or get ready to perform.
And I see one person so far.
As you crossed, there was another one further up, but they don't seem to have paid attention to the snapping of the twigs.
All right, I'm gonna very quickly move behind kind of this. There's a large rock on kind of the southeast of the steps, and I'm gonna try to hide there. If I can not be immediately discovered, then I can pretend I'm taking a piss or something back here.
Right.
So you want me to do another stealth for that hide, John?
Yeah, sure. Do
Okay.
another stealth.
13. Getting rid of every dice.
Good enough. It works. After about maybe 2 agonizing minutes of, did I just send this all to shit? The cultist makes it about closer to that first statue, a little bit north from where you are. Looks, doesn't see anything. Just like, it's probably my imagination. You even hear like, fucking bird.
Can I try to peek back around the rock and catch the eyes of any of my party?
Yeah, when I saw that other guard that other cultist kind of start to move off, I moved forward a little bit. I'm still up behind a rock, so they can't see me, but like I've got a clear line of sight to the rock that Feder has moved behind.
Sure, yeah. So then, Feder, you do see Tazlin peek out and is motioning to you.
How many cultists have I seen this far, John?
When you guys arrived, you saw immediately the two to the north, kind of closer to where Yusuf now is, and Sunny and Gallahan at that main rock to the northwest of the map here. They're just standing at the edge of the dip into this courtyard, looking over it, just keeping an eye out on the goings-on down at the camps. Mm-hmm. Sort of to keep an eye on things, but also like, oh, they're having fun up there. And then where you are further south, kind of towards the middle of this section here where the stairs are, you have that one. So far you have the 3. You can hear more voices, and you'd have to get a little bit closer to look over down into the actual thing to actually see a more specific amount.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just try to, in very crude hand signals to Tazlin, give her the little like point at my eyes, point at her eyes, and I'll be like 3 people up top and kind of just like, air traffic control, and then put like more like voices down there, and then like pull out a knife and go question mark, and then wait to see for her to like.
I give him like the wait a second, and then I'll go move back to the group, and I'm like, okay, so I think what he said is that there's 3 up here, and I'm assuming it looked like he was saying more, looked like something else, but I'm gonna take it as he said more.
Just one long stroking hand gesture. Look, that's how. Look, DSL stands for Dis Sign Language, and that's the only thing it stands for. I'm very sorry, guys. I'm really sorry.
If there's one thing that I know when he's signaling more, that's, yeah. There's more over there, and I kind of like point down kind of thing. Should we do something? He's hanging out, but I mean, we can go in, and he's got the daggers at the ready.
Well, and Sunny whispers, so she's not like, even though I might be loud for the microphone, she's not. She's rolled pretty good on some stealth there. Could you guys not do like the killing thing you guys did to save me? Like just
sneak around and get one at a time and, like, I mean, it might take a while, but, like, thin out the numbers? Is that wise?
Well, I mean, Fetter's really the person to do that. I can make myself invisible in a way, but everybody's gonna know where I am, ironically.
Whoa, that's really ironic.
Don't you think?
All right, Alanis.
Damn, okay, maybe he strikes while the striking's good, and we get better vantage?
All right, hold on. And I, like, go off.
All right.
I'm gonna get to, the rocks and then wait for that one cultist to kind of move off before I keep going.
And I'm just, like, looking at you in the dark vision, like shrug emoji. Like,
I take a dash to get to him.
All right. Yeah, you should be fine.
Okay.
The whatever's going on down there is distracting him a bit more. Just, I'm up here. This sucks.
So, Sunny doesn't want us to go at it the way we did last time, I guess. She's wanting the more stealthy stabby stab, and I know you're good at that, and I can cast darkness on myself, which is helpful, but will call attention.
can you only do that on yourself, or can you, like, cast it on other people, like, away from you?
I can cast it on other people and other objects. The issue is if I cast it on you, you're not going to be able to see in it.
No, like, not on me, but, like, if a bunch of people are looking at us, can we put it on them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go, try to just... I see the two archer cultists kind of to the north side of that pit. I'm going to try to get to the south side of these two statues and see if I can peer down into said pit. And then after that, I'm going to go start killing shit. You got my back?
Yep.
Maybe try to make sure Yusuf and they're ready to go on the other side?
Yep.
Okay.
I kind of have my raven, like, pop out of my hand, especially since it's dark now. They're not really going to be able to see it. And I, like, whisper to it, being like, I just tell it, hey, get ready. And then I have it, like, go off to Yusuf and Sunny so I can croak back, hey, get ready.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to try to, first order of business is I'm going to stealthily move to the south around the rock and try to get up next to the south side of the statue.
Okay.
Double move to dash to kind of get up next to the statue there.
All right, and a little bit more reveals itself to you from there. And by now I can show you a little bit more as you get up to the edge. And so far there's not a lot of debris and detritus in the way to, like, make any noise, quite like that branch where you were. So you make it without any problems under the current stealth roll. And as you peer over, it's startling almost, but you see this giant dragon skull with his mouth open. Like, there's a pit in your stomach as you're like, oh shit. It's just a skeleton sitting out there, and you realize it's not moving, it's not animated or anything, but there was like a brief pause there where you're like, oh no. And you see the full body of this dragon skeleton just chilling as part of the scenery of this courtyard. And it does look like a courtyard as you peer over into it. The rubble and all the tiles are all broken and grayed and dirted, and time has not been nice. And you get a more full view of this super tall tree trunk, and it's gnarled, that even though it's gnarled and quote unquote dead, it still has its tendrils, like its roots still in the ground. So not fully dead, maybe? I don't know. It's
Slightly alive. Copy.
Slightly alive. There's hint of life, even though outwardly it just looks very much dead. But you also notice with a brighter campfire and further in, there's a tent near the backside of the dragon, and standing outside kind of in watch and just generally hanging around, you see not one, but 3 different Arianes in different stages of just relaxation, ready for the evening. There's one closer to the middle between these 2 massive statues that you notice that seem to serve as sort of like an entrance into this mountain. You know, she's sitting on the ground just nodding a kind of a blue glowing rope, just playing like, those types of knot games you would play as a kid where you would like, oh, here's 6 different things.
Cat's cradle.
Cat's cradle, yeah. So doing that with the rope, it's thicker, so she's not as successful, and faintly you can hear, fuck, shit, ass.
I can read lips, so I can actually hear her.
Yeah.
I see her say, fuck, shit, ass, which I'm like, I don't know what that means.
And then there is another one who looks a little bit older, whose armor's a bit more worn and battle-scarred, and is practicing shooting arrows at one of the tree, like parts of the roots of the tree, and, not really caring too much if they hit or not nearly as upset as the other one at something so simple. And then beyond her, you see another one, the final one, with more, like, her armor's purplish, more tightly sculpted to her body. You see purplish wings that have they have a little more of a devilish look to them than the other ones. The other ones look a little bit more feathered, but this one has like a bit more plucked and spiked, and they seem to flicker on their own like accord, independent of what she's doing. And she is examining this spherical device, and it seems kind of strange and like otherworldly. There's a familiarity to it, but you're still far enough away to where you're like, okay, she's just messing with a ball. And that's what you see kind of from your vantage point near the statue there.
Okay. Can I do an eye for detail check just to see if there's, if I can find like a bunch of exploding barrels or some sort of cheat code? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I do want to do that just to see if there's anything especial that pops out at me. Anything hidden. It's a 25 eye for detail.
Nice.
On what I'm looking at.
There are 2 carts near the Aranes, the ones that are to the north, the older one and the purple one. And the one cart where the purple Aranes is just has that larger ball that she's looking around and examining. The other one has a few different barrels inside of it. And the way they're set up and carefully compartmentalized in there, you get the sense that maybe there might be something to that. Usually things that are not important can be jostled around are just left about. But this
is very okay. So maybe more pieces of the machine, possibly.
Either pieces of the machine or something that shouldn't be jostled around for fear of.
Oh, for fear of maybe kabooming.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna look back at Taslin and try to give her the wave her down, and I will go 3, make little devil horns that way, and then I'm gonna try to make a cart. And then go boom, and then shrug emoji, and then pull my knives out and be like, and give her a thumbs up, and then I'm gonna start moving towards cultist number 1.
I kind of have this look on my face, like I'm like, what? At the cart part, I'm like, what? And then I see the kaboom, and I'm just like, and then I smile and just give him a thumbs up.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to then work my way back north on the backside of these statues. Oh boy. Let's see how far I can get.
No.
It'll be great. Come on.
With a double move to dash, I'm going to get to the edge of this, immediately behind the northern statue.
Okay.
And I am going to chuck 2 daggers at our archer friend there.
Okay.
Oh boy. That is, first one is a 23. Second one is a 13.
Both actually hit.
Damn. All right.
They're very squishy.
And surprised enough for sneak attack, John?
Yeah.
On this guy? All right, let's see. Let's see what kind of damage we do here. 23 points of damage, John.
Oh, yes. Super dead. This one is. The question then, as you toss him forward, is they both go into his back. And he dies, but he starts to teeter a bit. Mm-hmm. And you have about a round to try and either grab him so he doesn't fall forward or make noise.
I want to, if that's round, I would just try to, because I'm still dressed like this guy, would love to try to just grab him, put him down, and just pick up his bow to try to just
Yeah, so then do a dex roll.
Okay.
To get in there, grab him, because these cultists aren't heavy.
Right.
They're pretty slight. But just with the impact of the daggers each to the back, it was enough to push forward a little bit on the edges. He was looking over and seeing his friends have fun.
Okay. That's a 24.
Oh, yeah. It's easy peasy, without any trouble whatsoever.
I'm gonna get my knives back. And,
You push him back a little bit, or you can take him however you feel where you need him to be. So maybe behind some rocks, whatever you wish to do.
Yeah, I'll just take him behind those, kind of back towards the rocks where we were there. I'll drop him there. And then I will, I guess, make my way back towards Yusuf.
Never get left out on the fun, kids. Otherwise, you'll get daggers to the back.
Could I see any of this happening?
Feder was still under the stealth roll.
Oh, okay.
So you notice this. You notice it after he gets the guy and comes out to grab him. Like, it was quiet enough, but you could see the movement. So that's when you catch that he did something.
So I'm gonna try to like make eyes at Yusuf, like try to get his attention.
When I see Feder dragging him back, I'm gonna use Mage Hand, and on one of these broken twigs or one of this tree over here, I'm gonna use Mage Hand and just snap a twig so that these guys are.
So the two sentries on the north side.
Yeah, so that they look to the north and not the south when he's trying to do that.
Okay. So yeah, the two of them kind of give a look as the twig snaps, and their attention is drawn to it. So further helping anything that Feder would be doing. His stealth was good enough, but this is just added. This is bonus. It's icing on the cake. But they do start heading this way to start to poke around this tree. It's fucking birds again.
All right, I'm gonna sneak up behind the guy at the corner, the northwest corner, and this is more of a where the first one was tosses. I'm gonna try to just like both sides of the neck this dude.
Sure.
Well, I said dude, but I don't want to assume the gender of this cultist that I'm about to murder.
Hey, we're in California. It's gender neutral.
Yep.
There you go. All right. And because I'm close, one of these will be Mom's dagger. So that is first one is I got a 15 and a 16 on the die, so that's very exciting. So it's a 21 and a 22.
Oh yeah.
Cool. I don't know what I did to make the rogue gods happy, but I'm pretty okay with it. Between these last two.
You went naked in the morning.
I did. Guys, get naked in the morning. All right, so that is 10, 21, and 28 points of damage, John.
Perfect. That is sufficient. Blade in the neck, both sides, but quieter than what I did. And you guide him down.
When I saw Feder moving up, I'm gonna move up closer to this rock after I hear the of whatever that sound is of this other guy dying, if I hear anything. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna Mage Hand up in the tree this time, so this guy looks up instead of not anywhere else.
Okay, so he's busy kind of like walking around and exploring, like, oh, what's going on? Like, but looking up. Okay, what is going on? Seriously, what a weird sound for a tree to... Nothing up there? Fuck.
Okay, so I'm going to, I would like to double move to dash. And then do the same thing on this guy.
Okay.
Oh my god, I'm rolling so goddamn hot. Dueling 15s. So that's 21 and 22.
Yeah, these robed folk aren't very protected.
God, I love to do it. I'm gonna get my ass kicked by those demons, but right now I'm just living my goddamn truth and I'm loving it. All right, let's kill some shit. God, so many. Yeah. Sorry, this is very exciting for me.
That's all you can ask for. Live your truth.
27, John.
Oh, perfect. Just another ear in there. Whoosh, whoosh. And this time you flourish it. Now, the third time you're just like, let's get some style to this. And one in the heart and other one in the neck. You're varying your move set. And he gurgles. You get him down. He starts to go down. But as you're gently guiding him down, you do hear two voices conversing with each other, discussing different types of beef broth. Like probably the most inane food conversation any two cultists could have.
Right.
They're just talking, and they're temporarily distracted by that. But you do notice them as you've circled over, and you can kind of see a few more
Okay.
cultists. They're just enjoying an evening of food, and the ones down there, they're not paying much attention to anything. The two up there, one of them with the bow should be watching,
Yeah.
and the other, they're just talking. So they're all bored.
All right.
They've not encountered anything.
So I'm gonna try to get Yusuf's attention kind of around this tree. I'll bend down and pick up the bow just so it looks like I'm, piddling around or whatever. And how many people do I see below by the cart down there? Is that 4?
Yeah, you see one, you see 3 of the smaller plain robed cultists, and then one that's a little bit more elaborate in their robing. Mm-hmm. So 3 lessers, one more fanatical.
Right. So I want to draw Yusuf's attention and then essentially go like 3 cultists and then kind of point to the northern entrance to this pit, the northern statues. And then I'm going to go 4 cultists and then try to point down, like straight down. And then I'm going to go 3 demons. And then I'm going to go farther towards the south and then just kind of shrug at them and then kind of motion that I'm going to head towards these other statues. So I'm kind of waiting a little bit, just trying to like look like I'm patrolling, with my bow and arrow, but I do kind of want to keep an eye on, to see what Yusuf does next.
All right. And so far, Tazlin, you haven't been doing much. Where you're still over there near the other body, or have you moved around?
Yeah, no, I've kind of, as Fetter has been moving upwards, I've sort of been trailing behind him, but not quite. So I will, I guess I'll kind of sneak over back to Yusuf and the gang.
Okay.
I'm going to mod my disguise self to look like this dude that I just murdered.
Okay.
This last one. Just like...
Murder.
Just little changes to the face.
Okay.
Murder.
I mean, me, myself, and I wanted to go down and look in the pit, but I was like, nope, that's just me.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is stealthing, and again, like what I kind of classically refer to as kind of Assassin's Creed style, more in the emulating this guard than trying to like scurry around on my hands and knees like Skyrim or some shit. Kind of walk over to the conversing guards and just kind of like, lean up against the statue and light up a cigarette.
Okay. Yeah, and you hear some bits of conversation. They've moved on from food to a pissing contest of which kind of plants they've ate out in the wild. Like, have you eaten this mushroom? Have you ever had this? What did it do to you? Did you shit for weeks? Mm-hmm. That sort of thing. It's you're kind of rolling your eyes at the conversation because it is oh my god, it is
right.
You'd almost reveal yourself to the Aranese to take you home. That's how just awful the conversation is.
So I'm going to kind of walk out kind of northward, with my back to this gang and try to like wave Yusuf and company forward. Cause like I can't take all 3 of these dudes out by myself without getting seen. So I'm going to try to like give them a bit of cover or distraction so that they can maybe try to move around to give me a hand here.
All right, cool.
I kind of notice that, and I look at Yusuf and I point at the 2, and I kind of just give him like a little eye wiggle, and I start to kind of like take off the bolero, like my jacket and my bolero. Like,
oh god.
Sunny is like, her eyebrow is doing that thing too, but she's confused. She's like, huh?
What you doing? What you doing?
She's gonna go sex hobo murder these guys. Okay, great. Look,
Sunny gets the biggest smile, and you can see some of the lower tusk peeking through like,
Really? Oh, really?
don't worry, her stealth is still good. It's like, but she's clearly amused by this idea.
I feel like I'm gonna be best served hidden until we're not hidden anymore. So unless you, I don't know how I can help you.
What are they gonna say? Oh, I was sexed up by some random horn person?
No, they'll be dead.
I'm like trying to like get their attention and just like, what the fuck? Like, because I'm kind of, at this point, there are 4, 7, 10 combatants that once discovered could turn on me at any moment. And I'm just kind of like, what are we doing? Like, get the...
Hey, you're fine. You look like one of them. You're fine.
I come up to like the tree so like Fetter can see me. And I just kind of like pop my hand on my hip and like slowly start swaggering over.
What? We're doing that? Shut up. Fuck. All right. Fuck.
I thought we were going to do get help. We're just doing get some.
All right, fine. So I'm going to walk, like take a step back kind of towards the...
this is a horrible idea.
The edge of the pit and let her, figuring she's going to come around behind me. Oh God. All right. And I essentially, I'm getting ready to like turn and fire,
Okay.
I like open my shirt just a little bit.
Oh, nat 20 on my stealth check. Oh, wait, I have disadvantage on it. 8.
Aw.
I'm going to move to this side of the tree.
Don't move. Even then, you can hear some kink, and no one's hearing it. No one's close enough to hear it. But Yusuf, you're like, oh shit, I'm going to stop moving. And Tazlan, you're going towards those guys, and they're starting to turn to like, what's this? And Feder, they start to move towards her. Like the one with the arrows is like, hold on a second, I got this. I got this too. The other guy's like, what the fuck? the non-longbow one, just like, dude, don't like. And he's also interested, so they start to move kind of towards you. Like the guy with the longbow turns to Feder, thinking he is their compatriot. Like, did you get one of the devils here? Did you summon one?
When he does that, I'm going to turn and just fire 2 arrows into the back guy. Like, I'll just turn and just whack
Okay.
with the short bow.
And Tazlan, you see that Feder is starting to do this as he's starting to take aim for the back guy.
While he's taking aim, I kind of like saddle up to the guy that's closest to me. And I'll kind of like give him a nice little smile and be like, hey there, and put my arm around his shoulders and then my hand to his chest, and I'm going to Eldritch Blast him.
Oh, just hand to the chest?
Yep.
Oh, damn.
Hey,
All right.
it keeps the light down, okay?
Ooh.
It's like the kid getting the pat on the back at summer camp, but really the counselor is just trying to remember his name and looks at the tag in his shirt.
Tazlan, do a stealth roll for this, because you're gonna blast him, but there might be some noise if it shoots through the back, if it's powerful enough that close at range, so you might get some noise.
Oh, it's gonna.
I didn't expect Eldritch Blast to have noise, but yeah.
It's more his heart firing out of the back of his chest. That's what it is. That makes noise.
19.
19? Oh, good. Just poof. At that time, like some of the campfire, there's crackle and you hear some laughter, like ha ha ha. Perfect timing. Roll the the damage for that.
11 for the first one, and then the second one would be another 11, so 22.
Nice. And you pop, and he's down.
Okay.
Tazlan, you watch as his eyes just open wide in shock and then just go vacant. And he starts to crumble. And this is the time, Feder, you're
2 arrows. Yeah, I'm just going to take this bow I have and just fire off 2 shots.
Okay. Standard longbow.
Cool. Okay, so first one's a 16, second one's a 24.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Okay. Hot damn. 27?
All right. Arrows go through. You barely even hear the gurgle like as they go through. And he too is down for the count. And before he gets arrowed to death, he does happen to see like his mate in front of him go down, and that the burn hole through the back where the chest is, as the Eldritch Blast pierces through, and just he's like, what is, and he's gone.
Thunk.
Yep. And those 2 are down. And
all right.
Well.
yeah, at around that time, you do hear there's that ranged cultist off to the other side. He starts talking to another guy who's coming to see how he's doing. So he's like, okay, well, yeah, blah, 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 blah. You don't really hear what's going on. Too busy with the 2 dead guys with you, but...
I kind of give Feder like a quick look and...
Oh, definitely a big wink.
Okay.
A big, slightly horny wink right back at you.
All right.
I love killing stuff. It's kind of fun.
Time number 2. Shenzo's kind of padding along behind me in the dark.
Okay. The dark does well for Shenzo.
I will like move up behind the statue and eye up on the near guy. Yeah, same as before, and just kind of
Okay.
let her take the lead again, and then kind of essentially ready my action to fire off on the archer, like draw and fire.
Okay. Sure. Did you, before this happened, were you moving the cultists back down or just leaving their bodies there?
I'm just going to try to like stand between Guy and the bodies that are on the ground.
In the line of sight, yeah.
Like hoping that the night will kind of fall off. Like we have dark vision. I'm assuming these dudes don't.
Right.
So I'm just going to try to stand there and look like someone's off taking a piss break or something. Where are just for my own sense of things, John, where are kind of the light sources coming from around the camp down in this pit?
The campfires should have fires going, and at various intervals there are a few different torches to make everything a bit well lit for these cultists.
Okay.
You know that it's not a big deal for the Aranese you saw toward the south. Like, that doesn't doesn't fucking matter to them. But the cultists have been allowed a little bit of visual light for their fun for the evening. So that's where some of the light is coming from, and it's giving enough of a glow to where you guys still have some light glow off where you are up on the ridge where you're at.
Yeah.
But it's already starting to fade. So yeah, you can stand in front of a corpse like that, and it's not a big deal.
Just kind of kick him with my loafers. Just anyway. Okay. And I'm just gonna let Taz take the lead again, and just stand by to back it up.
Okay, and Tazlin, you can see some more cultish activity, but far less than what's over on this other side of these other fanatics. They're busy doing their own thing as well. They seem a little bit more elegantly robed, a little bit more fanatical than the others, but there's only this other ranged guy that you see here. So these two guys are about out of earshot, so you have to keep that in mind.
As I get up to those guys, I swing around towards the back one to give Feder line of attack. But then at the same time, I've got like my hair in one hand and I'm doing like the girly twirl. And then, but my other hand, I'm kind of like behind me so Feder can see, and I just kind of like wave him closer.
Okay. So I will, depending on how they react, I'll go ahead and just... Let's see, I can get 30 feet. I can just get up right behind this guy, and I'll kind of stash the bow on me as I'm walking, on the shoulder, and and get ready to just double knife this guy.
And yeah, the two cultists are looking your direction. The one that doesn't have a long bow walks up like, a bit late for someone as pretty as yourself to be out.
Never late enough for you, though.
I love how these dudes just immediately, these like low-level fucking entry-level grunts are just like, oh yeah, the super hot tiefling is definitely going to have sex with us.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
They totally think that too.
Goddamn male privilege. Anyway, rant over. Yeah. Please murder them.
Yeah. They are. The one that even gets closer is just like, he's into it. He's kind of like, it's a cold, dark night. And the other guy's just like,
and full of terrors. Shank.
I kind of just like get really close to him and slide my hands around his like waist.
All right. He's into it.
Like saddle like right up on him. And like over his shoulder, I'll kind of like give Feder like a wink, and then I'll Eldritch blast him too.
All right, 2 knives coming right after.
Do like the little cross of Eldritch blast through the middle for him.
Oh, through the center? Oh my god.
Yep.
That's just brutal. It's like
oh yes,
a shotgun on each side.
Cut back to Yusuf, just like by the tree. He picks up Taz's coat and just looks at it and is like, stares off in the distance. Just we're past 60 feet, so he can't see what's happening now.
Right. And quietly, Sonny comes up next to you and just like, what's going on?
I have no idea.
Is she sexing them to death?
The dead bodies I can see in front of me, I just kind of point and like, yeah, that's what's happening. Oh, there's a hole through that guy, and there's 2 arrows in the other one.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, considering I haven't heard anything yet, that's kind of what I'm waiting for.
God damn, this is fun. Even though I can't see shit.
John, the guys down here by the fire, do I have line of sight on them at all? Can I see what's happening with them?
Yeah, there's a little bit of obstruction with the tree branches in your way, but yeah, you have you can see the top. I'd say about the tops of their heads, just about as you kind of get on your tippy toes a bit, on your tippy hooves.
Okay, I got a 13 on my stealth roll. I'm gonna move over to this body and search it real quick, see if I can find anything.
Okay, yeah, they all rolled pretty low. A couple of them are playing cards. Some of them are drinking, it's swill, but it's enough to get you a little on the buzzy side. They're like a successful arrival to the mountain. Let's hang out. They're fine. They don't hear anything, see anything, and yeah, you can explore the body. You get a few, maybe 10 silver out of the corpse.
Like, are they wearing medallions or anything that would give me any information as to like their rank or anything? Looking for anything at all, really. Perception's a 16.
This particular one, you check the robes near the chest and the sides and look for secret pockets. You don't see anything other than they've got a small money belt of silver. But then right at the ankle, you see a downward dagger tattoo on this one. Where the bone is that protrudes from your ankle, just really classy.
Got it.
Did we murder these people? Can we find out?
Let's find out.
Sorry.
Cut back to Feder and the sex death.
Death of 1,000 sexes.
Taz first or me first, John? Who do you want to do?
What's your modifiers for dexterity?
Mine's +6.
Oh yeah, he's. I only have a +2, so he's definitely.
Okay, yeah, Feder, you go first.
Okay. First one's 25. Second one is a 13.
First one definitely hits. The second one, you just did it.
Okay.
You just hit. So.
Woohoo. All right. All right. Let's take a look. 29, John.
You get him good. He emits a bit of a louder gargle that does start to catch the attention a bit.
Right.
From Tazlin. He's like, "Gah!" And so he's dead, but he does able to get out a little bit of a sound. Starts to distract this next cultist. So Tazlin, as your turn starts, his attention is starting to wane a little bit. Get distracted.
Do you want me to roll for AC or just damage, since I've got my arms around him and everything?
Just roll for damage.
Okay. That would be a 10, so 15 on the first one. Mm-hmm. And then a 14 on the second one, so 29.
Yep. You wrap your arms around him, and he did.
For everybody playing the home game, that is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people that we have murdered. Very exciting. I am very excited by all of this death. Anyway.
It is.
And so as you guide him to the ground from the blast, no one has heard you, but one of the nearby ranged guys that are off to the far right, he's starting to walk the direction. He hasn't caught on to you guys yet.
I'll kind of like turn so my back is towards the ranged guy, and just kind of, I'll make it seem like I'm making out with the dude that I just killed.
Oh, that's gross. Anyway, I'm gonna
I'm not actually making out with him.
For the hell of it, since you blasted him from the sides, right? Do a
performance.
Yeah, or performance, but also because you're trying to keep his body together, it's starting to split.
Oh.
From where you Eldritch blast him, like he's starting to pull. You're starting to feel the lower torso, like the lower body, go down, slide down. He's still robed, but it's starting to peel. Like, so you're trying to, if you want to keep it together.
I only need a second for Feder to take care of this guy, so I got a 19.
Okay, yeah, you're able to, but it's starting to feel a bit gross and weird.
You know, like the old movies where they wouldn't actually kiss, they just turn and like move their head a little bit. That's what I'm doing.
Clue-esque.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna just, as I'm walking just straight towards this dude, just trying to look pretty nonchalant, I'm just gonna turn as I pass Tazlin. I'm gonna be like, when you stop pissing about, blow up that barrel down there just south of where you are. Let's kick this fucking thing off. I'm getting bored. I'll use my insightful fighting as I'm walking as a bonus action to see if I can just get a weak spot and just try to throw one good sneak attack dagger at him.
Sure.
Insightful fighting is a 19. Sorry, and I think that's a let me see. Insightful fighting. We haven't used it in a minute. Contested by a target's deception check.
No.
Okay, cool.
No, it doesn't work.
Cool. So then I'm going to get up and then just try to throw one good dagger at him.
Okay.
Which is a 15 on the die. God damn, I'm rolling so hot. 21.
Oh, yeah.
So the second that I hear him drop this dude, which I'm sure he will, I'm going to drop my dude.
Yeah, he drops 2 places. Ew.
21 points of damage on this fella.
Sufficient.
Okay. Just right in the throat. Whack.
Yeah, his eyes go wide, and he's like, he's no more. His cultish days are over. Not even enough time for his life to flash.
Yeah, that's now 8 people undetected that we've murdered around this camp.
Okay, so where is this barrel?
So if I see Taz like kind of looking, I'll just like move back over to, and I'll be like, it's right there. It's by the fucking tree.
Oh shit! It is literally exactly within range of my Eldritch Blast.
Yes! Just boom, boom. Because I figure if a giant explosion goes off, Yusuf will know that now it's time to do things. Or not, or it'll just dud, and then we'll get our ass kicked. Who's to say?
Who's to say?
It's going to be great.
All right, so Tazlin, were you going to actually attempt it?
Yep. Might as well.
Okay. All right. So a few people have moved around, but no one's quite caught on to anything going on.
I'm going to make eye contact with Taz real quick. I want to move ahead to kind of where that last sentry was, and I am going to ready 2 daggers for the ranged guy on the east side of the pit towards the corner. So I'll let her do her thing, and the minute it goes boom, if he turns, I'm going to throw 2 daggers at him.
All right. So then you're rolling you're doing Eldritch Blast and rolling it?
Sure. Because I guess I would have to break through the barrel. Dirty 20
Oh, wow.
on the first one.
Gotta love that force damage.
And a 15 on the second one.
Okay. Both hit. The first one, it hits and destroys the barrel, and you're like, explosion? And nothing, and you're like, oh shit, because it makes a bursting noise. The second one you hit, though, you see the spark. And the split second, and it explodes.
Billy.
Like, this is when, in your Netflix show, John, this is when the anachronistic 80s Billy Idol song starts to play. Or like, come on,
Yeah.
feel the noise, or whatever you can get the rights to given your budget.
And with that, we will jump into initiative.
Well, that certainly is one way to start a fight. My poppy, rest his soul, always said the best way to even the odds is to do some sneaky rogue shit. Here's hoping that the party calculated correctly for the coming skirmish. I'm sure it will be fine. There's nothing to worry about at all. Now, with that said, it's time for me to skedaddle. Join me next week for an exciting, combat-intensive dive into these Demon Dayz.
I love we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4.
No.
8 people dead before we rolled initiative. I just
Well-
want to put that out there. Someone contact the D&D world records.
You hear from Sonny, if you help, I'll take my tits out too.
Pop.
You know, I found
We've
that
been
I
watching
do
a lot of Community, so
fantastic.
Back to pop pop. On your face.
I was looking at something else, but yeah.
Ironically, it also involved rope.
Yeah.
Just a lot of rope.
Amazon.com.
Guys, Shibari portraits of the entire cast of
Yeah,
Demon
don't
Dayz.
buy your
We are waiting.
rope. Don't buy your rope from
We're-
Amazon.
Yeah, we are waiting. Anyway,
Yeah, let's get some. I'd love that. Shibari fan
Yeah.
art. Woo.
come on,
God.
internet.
Yeah, KiloWhat.
We believe in you.
That's your next fan art piece if you want to do it.
No, boy.
It just dawned on me I should make sure I pronounce that correctly. quick BT. Quick cut point for me. Oh, there's not a pronunciation guide. Well, fuck it. Hit his address on then.
I'm gonna
So
mage.
I'm just
Dan.
yeah. At this point, I'm going to pick up.
Sorry,
Yeah,
when I saw
pick up the. Go ahead. Sorry, Drew.
when I saw,
Rock monster.
Very. Rock monster? No. Fun. Always fun with us, gang. Always a good time.
God damn it. Love it. I love it. Just start giving everyone else inspiration for a good.
I am going to,
receiving these.
anytime we see a rock monster, I'm going to say it that way from here on out. That's definitely going to be a running joke now.
Full support because I heard rock monster and that's the immediate thing
Rock
that came into my head.
monster!
Rock monster.
Hello.